everybody, it is me, Darcy. It is him, Kris, man, and special guest, the soulless one. No, special guest Jay, and he's a good friend of ours. He's currently living very far away from us. We live in Australia, so that means many days of travel.
Yes.
Many more days of travel if you're Kris, because Kris gets you lost. So he's in town. We decided we'd invite him around. You know, you've met Jordan, Kris's landlord. Now you're going to meet Jaden, Kris's
other half.
Now there is some rules. Quickly before we go too far, Jaden. I know you like being mean to Kris. That's my stick. That's what I do. So don't step on my toes. You can be mean to Kris, but just give it. Remember that's what I do.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jaden's here. He's in town. He's visiting everyone. We're catching up. Probably spend more time together as we get to the weekend. But last night, Kris sent me a message and was like, "Hey, is it cool if Jaden comes on the podcast or some shit like that?" And I was like, "I'll think about it." And at first, I was like, "Is that a good idea?" He is a ranger. And then I was like,
Only half.
And then I was like, No, it should be fine. And having another person means that I can actually get away with doing less talking for once, which is nice. When Jordan was here, we kind of showed that it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I believe I sent back to Kris, I'll think about it.
Yes.
And then about 20 seconds later, I was like, I've thought about it.
Yes.
Yes. So, welcome, Jaden.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to your YouTube debut.
It's nice to be on this side instead of the other side watching it.
Yeah. You can finally yell at Kris in person for not talking.
Aha.
That too. NPC.
He is an NPC. So before we get into anything meaty, channel news.
Yes.
Kris, have you done anything on your part of that you've said you were going to do now that I've literally given you everything that you need to do it?
I have set it up.
That's a no.
Yeah.
That's a big fat no.
Yeah.
Would you like me to come around and do it as well?
No,
keep the channel thing going. I'll record on your side as well.
I can do it. I can do it.
Give it a go. In terms of channel news, what came out this week? It's getting harder and harder for me to remember.
You did a solo for Subnautica.
Subnautica came out this week, and Dredge. Your playthrough of Dredge, the one
Yeah.
where you
Ran into a rock.
suck.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, so as I said, it actually is getting harder and harder for me to keep track of everything because I'm getting to the point now where so much has come out, and I generally have so much behind the scenes going on.
True.
That I actually forget what I've put out, what has come out in the past, and what only I've seen in terms of editing.
Well, that's fair. At least we actually kept track of it this week.
Which is
So
harsh.
came out.
Which is very harsh because I often want to talk about things that I've seen that just haven't been out yet.
And that I've forgotten.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so that's come out this week. We hope you enjoy it. In terms of stuff coming out in the future, we've still got the Halloween stuff we have to actually do.
Yes, we do.
That's getting closer, and I want to get on top of that because I do not want to be editing it the day before it's supposed to be coming out again.
So I'm actually going to rule out Phasmo for now.
Ooh, what have you done?
I haven't really done anything, but I keep running into the situation that while I've been going through...
It's melting your laptop.
No, it's not melting my laptop. The laptop is fine.
Your laptop.
The issue that I'm finding is that just about every house I go into seems like freezing temp because I see my breath in every household now, whether it's freezing temps or not.
Ooh.
So it's now a little bit harder to determine whether it's freezing temps or not because I don't have the second tier of the thermometer unlocked.
Oh.
So at the moment, you've got to wait 5 minutes for it to drop down to say that it's below zero to say freezing temps. So there are some things that we sort of have to get past. We can still probably do it, but that makes it a little
Chris,
bit more.
You're whinging and complaining about it makes me go, yes, we should actually do that because that's what we call in the business content.
Oh yeah, good point. Okay, well then we're doing it.
So yeah, we're doing that. In terms of what I've been doing, I have started, I guess you would call them 2 mini-series, technically.
Yes.
The first one is something I've been planning to do for a while, and that is a complete playthrough, 100 and whatever percenting Spyro, the
Yes.
Reignited trilogy.
Yes.
And crossing my fingers and praying for Spyro 4 to be announced at some point in time.
Oh, that'd be nice.
The other one is, and you probably know this, you probably don't. I used to be acceptable at Rainbow Six Siege,
Yeah.
like to a point where I was okay.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it in like 3 years, so I've started a whole thing
Okay.
where I'm
3
trying
years.
to get back at being good.
Okay.
We
Yes.
just added Master Chief to it.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw that video this morning. And
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to be quite good at it, and then they went and did something crazy like change all the maps, add a bunch of new operators, and just go crazy. So I actually have a plan to get back to being acceptable.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to be good, but I just want to be okay.
Yeah.
what's acceptable?
Better than me.
Winning
Everyone's better than you.
winning games and not being the bottom of my team.
So winning as in being alive to the end, or
No.
just
So
having
winning,
the team
So
win?
the team
the
wins.
team wins.
Okay.
The team wins the X amount of rounds that we need to win the game.
Yeah.
And I am not at the bottom because I've just sat in a corner being like, "Hey, hey." So I have actually filmed the first one of that. Spoilers for that. I set myself rules. What
Okay.
counted as success, what counted as failure. What counted as success? Winning, not being in the bottom of the list.
Yes. Yes.
What counted as failure? Losing,
Losing.
or winning and being the worst person on our team.
Yes.
Hint, it was all failure.
Oh no.
I look forward to
but
that one.
yeah, it was pretty funny. There was almost a success.
Oh.
I was the top of my team,
Oh.
Okay.
and then I was the second best on my team, and then everyone else on my team left, so there was 2 of us, and we
So-
were winning.
So you were at the bottom of your team.
We were, but we ended up losing because the rest of our team left, and we had to finish the game with 2 players against 5.
Yeah. That's
and one
rough.
of them was me. And I was not good.
That's rough.
It was pretty rough. So, so that's kind of what I've been working on. If they do well, I want to do other things like Crash Bandicoot, the whole playthrough of that. Even though that's like I don't actually know Crash Bandicoot, I've never finished the game because
Which game?
all of them. Because I was a Spyro kid. Like I when I was a kid, you were either 1 or 2. If you played PlayStation, you were either Crash Bandicoot or you were Spyro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Couldn't be both. And I think dragons are cool.
You could play both, but you picked
You
one.
fell in one category.
Yeah.
It's like I picked Spyro myself as well, but I did
Yeah,
play a bit
Spyro's-
of Crash here and there.
So we're kind of in an interesting thing because we've got one of the most prestigious watchers of our content sitting here with us, talking about channel news. Jaden, is there anything that you want to see?
Oh, I've put everything I want in the comments, or I just message Kris directly.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But then he says put it in the comments. So.
It's that way we get a comment.
yeah. It's not true, but that way it's there.
And the whole time, Kris never says anything to me about.
I have told you the ones he's told me.
No, have you?
Yes.
So,
I have told
That's
you.
why I go to the comment now. Yeah.
Yes.
Still waiting for Jordan to go to his AA meetings.
Yeah, that's
That would be a nice one to see.
yeah. But we're all waiting for that.
Yes. That's going to be a while.
Well, he's actively out on a date tonight anyway.
Ooh.
Not a date, but he's... what was it? He was seeing someone.
Is it the girl that he had on Snapchat that he was lying in bed with?
No.
And then there was another guy lying across him. in
No.
bed, and there was like 6 of them in the bed.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it. No.
No. He was very vague on his answers. There's no going home to hers or her coming back to his. But maybe some parking lot entertainment. Who knows?
Hold on, we can check this.
You gonna message him?
No, just gonna Snapchat fucking maps him to find out where he is.
Does
I
he
think
have
he-
that turned on? I think he.
Yeah.
He might not, depending. Anyway,
It's
if
not
he
a
wants to be
constant
found, he
thing
wants to be
either
found.
way.
If he doesn't want to be found, it's all the more reason to find him.
Oh, so he's at
That
the
is
Berserker.
very. Oh, it's a high chance he is. That's where he tends
If
to
it's
go.
Berserker, I reckon he could be the Berserker girl.
That's. Oh, yeah, that is true.
Jonathan's still in the middle of the ocean.
That sounds right.
That's right.
I hope one day he learns to swim.
Well, if you haven't seen Jordan yet, then he's not on maps.
No.
At least at the moment.
No, usually he's right next to you. Because
Yes.
he's your landlord and everything.
That is true.
Yeah, no. So that's kind of where we are channel wise at the moment. We've got a lot of stuff to get through.
Yes.
Jaden's going to be in some content.
I'd love to be at some point if possible. Yeah.
Well, you're going to be in some because we're going to do some. We're going to put forward our most popular show today. We're going to do some Mario Karting. You're going to be in it.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, I haven't played Mario Kart in ages.
That's fine.
We haven't played it in like a week.
That's fine, Chris.
I would say go easy. But
There's,
I'll pick it up quickly.
there's no need for that. Chris is a cunt and so is Toad.
Oh yeah, yes.
But yeah, other than that, stay tuned for more stuff channel-wise. Patreon, whatever fingers.
Yeah. Whenever that happens.
We as I always say, we do have stuff planned for Patreon the second that I actually get around to doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
It does actually also involve Chris playing guitar, which will be entertaining for all of us.
Yes,
Playing
I will.
guitar.
I have all my guitars. And Chris is going to play one of them.
Do you have earplugs? Because
I have better than earplugs.
But yes, that'll be something. We have tried this once before, but couldn't record it.
That's because the PlayStation sucks. And now I have it on the PC.
I miss Guitar Hero.
Rock Band. Not Rock Band, Rocksmith.
Oh yeah, rock together.
Yeah, it was not good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, yeah. If you have actually ever noticed all the guitars in the back, most of them work, except the bass. And the Wii and Xbox controller also work.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess that's all for channel news, unless Chris, do you have anything to add? Didn't think so. Okay, let's keep moving on. No, but seriously, do you?
No, I think I have decided I'm gonna try at least a playthrough of some of the Assassin's Creed
Right.
to replay some of that.
I think you should also try Spider-Man. Because I won't be playing that anytime soon.
Remakes?
Fair point, yeah.
No, it's Marvel Spider-Man and then Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely on the list, though. It is definitely one that I was going to do.
I would say, because I can't remember when Spider-Man 2 is coming out. November.
Soon,
something like
because
that.
I've got the PlayStation covers out.
Yep.
That is true, yes, yeah.
I would suggest
Go through Spider-Man 1 so that it's
having a go through.
fairly fresh when 2 comes out. Yeah, that's
Like, you don't have to 100% it, just do a story run.
Yeah,
So that's
I could
probably
definitely
like
do
a
that.
day before it comes out, a minimum. So
Yeah,
hopefully
I
time
could do
for
that.
me to make sure Chris is actually filming correctly and give him a quick run through on how to do some editing.
Yes.
Even though that's probably not what's going to happen. More than likely, you'll just give me the raw files and I'll just edit it.
I was going to attempt to do something.
Yeah.
You can tell from the last podcast he didn't do any editing.
Well, he basically said it's like I'm probably just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
We were lying in the cabin,
Yes.
chateau, apartment,
Yes.
between skiing sessions.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to edit this right now because this should be quick and easy.
Yes.
And then Jordan was like, I said some things, and I was like, how bad were they? And he's like, I'm like,
Damn it.
is this going to be a hard edit? And then he told me what he said, and I was like, no, that should be fine. But I was
Trying to
like,
think what he said in that video. I'm like, it's not that bad.
he said he may have been quite racist at one point, and I was like, oh god, please no. I was like, that's 2 hours, Jordan. Do you know how long it takes me to watch 2 hours just to watch it? 2 hours.
Yes. And there's the editing.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so that about wraps up channel news, all the good stuff from that. And I thought I'd get us started off by talking about my trip to KFC where Kris had eaten all the nuggets. And I couldn't get any. And that's all I eat from KFC, so that was pretty rough on me.
Hey, that's why the line was so long today.
Look, I have to say, I haven't had any nuggets from KFC in weeks, thank you very much.
It's because you sold out and you didn't
It's
get
because
any.
he ate them all.
Weeks ago.
They haven't restocked. No. Yeah, honestly, that was just the biggest disappointment. I was just like, I just wanted some nuggets. And Kris ate them all, just like everywhere we went on the way to the snow.
Children love nuggets as much as you do.
They do.
They are good though, and you know it.
No lie.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one. Yeah. I haven't. So games coming out. If you've paid attention recently, a big one came out just before we went to the snow.
Yes.
If you're like Kris, you actually forgot that it had come out.
Yes.
Because he is a moron.
No, I just never kept track of when it was
But
coming
there's
out.
another one that's come out. I
Knew
don't
I
know if
wasn't
you
about before it.
have heard of it. Exo Primal.
Yes, that's a dinosaur one, wasn't it? That came out a while
Dinosaur
ago.
kind of. It's kind of
I
like.
guess it was
It's
something.
time travel with dinosaurs and stuff. Isn't
All
it?
I know is that it's like a team-based dinosaur arena shooter, and you're in mechs or like.
Yeah, but that came out a while ago on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of been like it came out on like beta, and now it's like all officially out.
Oh, well,
Okay,
I haven't been
yeah.
in front of an Xbox for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I just know that it's been pushing, like Xbox has been pushing it recently,
Okay.
and it's like if I had to describe it, because I've seen some people play it,
Yes.
it's kind of like Anthem. You're in a suit,
Yeah.
but you're fighting dinosaurs.
Gives me
okay.
Ark vibes.
Yeah, it looks
It's like a combination
It
of
looks
it,
like
really.
good, stupid fun. And it
Okay.
has some pretty brutal things if you lose, like the dinosaurs just rip your people to pieces.
Nice.
But what I really like about it, I haven't played it, I haven't really done anything, but when it's up on the splash screen and they're like trying to push it to you,
Yeah.
it's got this little fucking like little phrase which is
Yep.
suit up, adapt, survive.
Okay.
Now, Chris, what do you know about me? Like, what's the one thing you know about me that I watch?
Well, How I Met Your Mother and suiting up.
No, Top Gear.
Oh, well, yes, Top Gear.
Now,
Well, that's also another one.
that's about.
So as soon as you said suit up, I'm thinking
No.
How I Met Your Mother.
So
Yeah.
suit up, yes, but it's the adapt, survive part.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Remember how I mainly only watch Top Gear?
Well, yes.
Whenever I hear someone say adapt, survive, now all I can think about is drinking banana daiquiris
That's
on a
right.
beach. Because apparently that's how you adapt and survive. You go into the jungle, you make banana daiquiris
Yes.
Are you getting liquor?
from the boat.
Well, yes. Come on.
Obviously, come
they
on.
weren't that far in trouble.
But yeah, so whenever I hear adapt and survive, that's where my mind goes to, because the whole time that they're doing it, they're kind of quoting Bear Grylls.
Should I?
And remember, Bear Grylls only has 3 words: 5-star accommodation, or I'm not doing it.
Is he even around anymore?
Oh, he's probably still doing something.
I have no idea.
But
why do I feel like if you're going to be playing that game, we're all going to just have banana daiquiris?
well, see, I'm not a big banana daiquiri drinker, but yeah, whenever I hear that, that's just my go-to. I see we're adapting and surviving. Time to get smashed, lads.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, as I said, I have seen people playing it, and it is actually something that if we could get together a team, because I think it's a 4-player, might even be 5. 5-player team versus dinosaurs kind of situation.
Okay.
And like literally, you can become a dinosaur and go
It
and
reminds
harass the
me
other
of
team.
that game that came out where you could be the monster and
Evolve.
the hunters. Was it Evolve?
Very similar. You get very
Okay.
similar vibes.
I could get Daniel on board with that. Easy download.
Yeah.
That's
Look, I would
all
suggest
easy.
checking it out. Seeing if you guys think what you guys think about it, because it might be something fun to do. It's just something fun to do
Yes.
because it looks like some good, stupid fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The type of
Okay.
game you can sit down with an entire bottle of liquor
Yes.
and then finish.
Well, yeah.
The entire bottle of
Okay. Well, of course.
Or as Jordan calls it, a Friday night.
He's currently
Well, at
doing.
least
He's
part
currently
of it.
doing a Friday night tonight.
At least part of Friday night. It's going to have more than a bottle.
You need more than a bottle.
Everyone I know has severe problems.
We know Chris's problem. What's my problem?
Oh no. Well, actually, yes, I do. It's written all over your face.
Soulless.
And then we've got Jono, the greatest idiot of all.
I look forward to seeing him on Friday.
I'm just always so mad at him all the time because
Yeah.
every time someone brings him up, all I can think of him is like saying that him and Jordan are smarter than me.
You were telling me how Jordan in school was very slow to catch on with mainly
I
maths.
wouldn't say very slow.
You
but
had to teach him.
in some things, yeah.
And that's pretty bad.
I know.
Bloody Chris.
And what was it? You didn't put effort in at all, and if you actually did,
I probably would have had plus with flying colours.
you mean instead of a C minus, you would have like an A.
No, I would instead of a B, I would have put an A.
See, and that's the difference
That's
between me
and
Chris.
that's why he's smarter than me.
Without putting in any effort, I wasn't.
yes. Yeah,
I'm
that's-
sorry, but A plus. There's nothing better than A plus.
yeah, I do agree that he
Is
is
there?
smarter than me.
An
That
A
is-
plus is just a way of a teachers controlling you. It's no better than a normal A.
That is true.
It's just the little plus makes you kiss the teacher's ass a little bit more. No.
Never saw one.
We God, Jono annoys me. It's just, he's just...
Did you sit next to him in English class?
No, I was 2 years ahead of you kids.
Oh, that's right. Old.
It's just, I just remember, every time I talk to Jono, I end up leaving the conversation both angry and annoyed at his stupidity. It's like the time he told me, this is only a couple months ago. He told me that the slots.
Oh yeah, pokies,
pokies. Pay out more than they take in, and I went, Jono, you realize that's not how business works, right?
No.
And he went, no, because I've only ever seen people win there. I'm like,
that's a lie.
That's a lie.
That doesn't compute, mate.
No. He's literally been there many times when Jordan's lost.
I have personally won more than I've lost, but I play by very strict rules, and I don't gamble.
Technically, I have won more than I've lost, but that's because someone else gave me money to put into it on my 18th birthday, and I've never put my own money in there.
You're currently winning, though.
Yes, he is.
That's how gambling works. Unfortunately, I'm a sucker for both poker and blackjack.
Yes.
But I at least give myself that those involve a bit of skill.
So what I'm saying is we should organise you and Jonathan to do poker and blackjack.
See,
he does do both.
Poker,
yes.
My trick at poker is that people can't read me because 90% of the time I don't pay attention to what I'm doing.
That's you as well. Just blank stares.
Well,
no one knows what's going on.
That's why it's very difficult to play coup with you.
Oh yeah. Also the fact that when I play poker, I accidentally so last time I played poker properly, we had $10 buy-in. Everyone had our chips. I lost half of my chips in the first 30 seconds. And when I say lost, I didn't gamble them. I literally misplaced them. And so for the rest of the night, everyone's like, okay, this is Darcy's last chip. And I put my chip in, and I'd play my hand, and then I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I'm out. And I'd stand up, go get a drink of water, and be like, guys, I found 3 more of my chips. And would you fucking stop that? I'm back in, boys.
So where were your chips?
All over the room. I had gotten up at one point to go to the bathroom and had just taken a handful of chips with me, and they had just made their way all over the place. So at one point I was literally sitting there, I'm like, well boys, I'm out. And they're like, you can fucking just sit there, you're not going anywhere. We don't want you to get any more chips. I'm like, okay. I leaned back on the couch and went, oh guys, I got the most expensive chip. And they're just like, you fuck. I won the night. We were playing until 4 a.m. because every time someone thought that I was out, I was just like, hey boys, I'm back.
So I don't think taking you to a casino is a good idea.
No.
You will have your chips and you will lose them and find them again.
Hey Jaden. Yeah, remember that $500? Yeah, it's gone. What do you mean it's gone? We haven't sat down at the table. It's gone. I lost it. Where'd you go?
Did you take it to the bathroom?
Oh, fuck.
Hey, I found one!
No, yeah, I'm kind of the worst at that because I just lose things.
That is just gold.
But yeah, I ended up winning. So I got what, $70, $80 that night. And I was the first one to technically lose all the chips I had in front of me. To be fair, that was only 10% of my overall chips, but
yes, that's fair.
Yeah, I had $1 in front of me, and I'm like, where's my other $9?
I can definitely vouch for it's very difficult to play those sorts of games against him. I haven't played that many against him. Just playing coup. We will absolutely destroy your sisters.
I'm a bit of a bastard,
but it's just
legally or just
when
mentally?
he's standing there, when he's sitting there staring you dead in the eye and saying, "Duke tax." It's like, does he have a goddamn Duke?
I never do.
He doesn't. Actually, no, you did once.
Oh yeah,
you did once.
So that's everything I did. I in that same poker night, I played about 3 hands where I was just like, I refuse to look at my cards, and they're like, no, but how? I'm like, I refuse, and I just hand in a card, and they're like, okay. I'm like, give me another one. They're like, but you don't know what. I'm like, give me another one, and then they're all sitting there, and they're like, well, I know what I've got, and I'm like, you do know what you've got. But I'm raising. Like, we don't. You know, you can't do that. I'm like, you're right. So I raise again.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the insanity play.
Yeah.
Yeah, except Primal's come out. Thought I might have a look at it. Not really sure. But move on to honestly what's been the biggest game release probably of the year.
Yes.
Starfield. So I've been playing it, obviously.
Yes. What are we thinking so far?
A little bit of a disappointment, but
Okay.
we knew it would be. No way was it going to stick up. So, yeah, I've probably played close to about 16 hours,
Okay.
if I'm being honest, and so that puts me about 2 hours into the actual game.
I got a little
That
bit.
makes sense, yeah.
I got a little bit of the pre-release. I got a little bit of playtime before I left for my holiday. I'm not disappointed with it, but I didn't have expectations going into it.
Have you done any of the shipbuilding stuff yet?
I had a brief look at it, and it confused the hell out.
Yeah, so I went a little
Okay.
bit into that, and it's a lot more restrictive than it has any right to be.
But have you seen the build
Okay.
people have made?
I have, and I'm questioning how that works because from what I understand now, this could get better as I go further in the game.
I know they did a patch with some of the stuff.
Well, this is as of yesterday.
Okay, well then, yeah.
So, basically stuff that I was like, okay, well, here are the parts, here's what I want, here's what you've got to do to get to what you want.
Okay.
Parts together. Yeah, so I was playing it as of yesterday, and I was like, okay, so I think a lot of it is going to be taken care of by better parts as you move further into the story.
Okay.
That's what I would expect.
Makes sense.
But things like you can. I tried putting 2 reactors on my ship. Now I couldn't afford this, so that was the first drawback because it was like, oh, you can't afford this, so that was the first error.
Okay.
But I ended up with like 6 or 7 errors because it's like, oh, you've got 2 shield nodules on your ship, and I went, yeah, because I want better shields.
Well, yeah. You.
No, can only have 1.
Okay.
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 You've got 2 reactors, yeah, because I want more power. Can only have 1. Now I've since fixed that by going to a different place and getting a more powerful reactor.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
But I'm like, that's gonna limit. That's pretty limiting. Not being able to be like, I want 2 reactors. Another big thing that a lot of people have been complaining about, because I did do some reading up on the Reddit of shipbuilding, because I was like, why isn't this doing what I want it to do? Because like I was doing things like, I want to turn this part of the ship around so that it can connect to this part for aesthetics, because that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Can't flip that part. That part's stationary. Can't move.
Okay.
Why the fuck can't it move? It's what the fuck's going on there? Okay, so issues like that, and it's being like, no, you've got 2 of these. You can't have that. The biggest one that a lot of people have been running into.
Yeah.
You put a new part on your ship, or your ship's too heavy now to fly.
Oh god.
So you've got to put better engines on. So you take off the smaller engines, put the bigger, more powerful engines on. Oh, well, they added more weight as well, so it's still too heavy to fly.
I'm hopeful they might fix those errors.
They're
they've
likely
done-
to get fixed.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was actually looking forward to that I haven't done yet is base building.
I've had a little tinker with it in my short time.
Your thoughts?
Complicated, but from
Fine.
what how Tom Howard has said, I believe it's Tom Howard,
Yeah.
Big Boss, whatever. He said that the point is you can build it on multiple planets and they can trade with each other.
Yeah.
and stuff
So you
like
can
that.
build 8 outposts, I believe. So,
Yeah, so you can have them all
pretty good.
communicating. So you have a different base here, there, throughout the solar system.
Honestly,
it's complicated, but there's only a certain area you can do it. So once you put your beacon down, it's like
that's
250 meters.
I'm all good with that. I'm a veteran of Fallout 4's settlement building. And stuff
Oh yeah,
like
Fallout
that.
4
So,
settlement was awesome.
so I'm just kind of hoping that it gives you options like that.
Okay.
The other thing that I'm less than worried about it is because we're in month 1 of it being out.
Yeah.
I know right now that a lot of modders are saying that they're learning it because it's obviously not the old system, the old framework that they used to use. So the old modding system doesn't cross over.
Yeah.
So unlike Fallout 4 and all of those games, it wasn't like the game's out. Modders have already started working on it. So the mods are a little bit slower, but I'm assuming that pretty much all the problems I have with Starfield at this point in time will be fixed by the modding community.
Well, they did something recently that they've never done in any previous game, as you know, the secret chests for vendors under the map.
Yeah.
They've removed them from the game in Starfield, so you can no longer access the merchant chests. They haven't done that in Skyrim, Fallout 3, etc. They've listened, they're seeing what we're complaining about, and I think they're looking at actually fixing these errors.
Yeah, look,
to make it enjoyable, because obviously the hype was there.
Oh yeah. That's something, like, as I said, my only big complaint right now, because I'm not someone who jumps on the hype train and goes, this didn't live up to 100% of my expectation. My biggest gripe so far has been the thing that even on a PC, because that's what I've been playing it on, the customization for the ship has been less than stellar. Like,
the only thing I have with it is when I started the game, it gave me New Vegas feels with Oblivion, where you select your character traits, and it was a lot more that.
I've played around with that a bit, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised with some of that, because I chose my character build and I went, okay, obviously your traits, I can't remember if it's called traits, pretty much the skill points.
Yeah.
You can change those, level them up, whatever. But you know how you've got the 3 main factors?
Yeah.
You can also change them.
Okay. Well, my limited time, I'm still.
I walked into a store on Mars, and literally you can pretty much change everything about your character.
Oh.
So what if you buy that? Get that one where you have your parents and stuff, or the house that you begin with?
I assume you can change that as well.
And you lose it, or you keep it?
Probably lose it.
All right. Something to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah, so look, I'm not. As I said, there were some things that I was a little bit less than thrilled about. Mainly the limited amount of customization that you can actually do with the ship.
Okay.
Just because I'm someone who, as you know, loves my aesthetics, and I will sacrifice all types of crap to keep my aesthetics aesthetic.
Yes.
Well, you want it to look good.
As for me, mostly,
I care more about how my ship.
No one's going to see it but you, but you want it to look awesome.
But the problem is, as someone who spent years of my life training to be someone who makes pretty things,
yes. Kind of want to keep it going.
Look, if it was a game where it's like, I build it but I can never see it, I probably don't care. It's like, but Kris can see it? I don't give a fuck what Kris can see. His eyes can be assaulted by ugliness, but if I can see it...
He sees that when he wakes up and looks in a mirror.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. He's a very ugly man. But if I can see it...
Weird.
It's not his fault you have such a weak chin.
Hey.
But yeah, so it's kind of like the thing is, and let me tell you from my couple of hours in the game, actually playing it, because most of my 16 hours was actually in the character customization.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, I spent many hours fiddling with my nose.
Actually, I can't even say too much about it, because I will do that too. I just haven't got the game yet.
I'm not one.
And this is only my first character. I'm actually considering playing multiple characters in this game.
I can't justify myself doing that on my character. Just general features make you look somewhat attractive. That's it.
I don't think I'm as bad as Darcy on that aspect, because in Code Vein, I only spent about 2 hours on my character.
That's about what I spent on my character in Elden Ring.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I haven't played Elden Ring.
Let's just say the customization options are far, far less.
Oh yes, they are far, far less. So, as I said, Code Vein for me was 2 hours, and then I got into the game.
But Elden Ring didn't underperform though, did it? No.
But it's like Baldur's Gate. It's just a good game. No matter what your politics are, it's a good fucking game.
No microtransactions.
No microtransactions, a full game that fucking functions.
Like you would expect when games are coming out.
That's it.
You can get.
Massive actual player base. So this is... I have actually played a lot of Baldur's Gate. I'm onto my 3rd character because I play with mods. And there's a really unfortunate thing that every time they do a big update, the mods become out of date.
Oh, so you're gonna read... Yeah,
which means I update my mods, and then I go to the character that I was originally playing. It's like, the mods no longer match, and you're like, fuck me. It's like,
oh, no.
So I lost about 45 hours of gameplay, which I was in chapter 2.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So anyway, that's neither here nor there because it's such a good game that I don't care that I had to go back to the start because there are choices, options, things you can do, and they actually change how the game works. So you can kill characters. Like you can literally be like, oh, this character wants to kill this character, so you go and kill that character. Turns out that character could have been a party member if you would save them.
Yeah.
Or you can choose your allegiances. So I aligned myself with the druids, but I could also align myself with the goblins at the start of the game, which changes the characters you have access to.
Okay. So it sounds like your choices actually matter.
Choices do actually matter.
Yes.
You can get characters killed, they can leave your party forever. If you're not actually dealing with your party correctly, you can lose players.
Reminds me of
It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Dragon Age.
You can
The
also
good one.
Yep. You can also run around and do what I do, which is like if a fight, I just don't want to get into it because a lot of the enemies you have, it's not really a story beat breaker because it happens right at the start. So you have a parasite in your head, which is the same parasite which the leaders of the goblins have, and they're kind of using them. They call them true souls, right?
Yeah.
So you can use that power and be like, I'm a true soul, and then like parasite power them once a day because it's Dungeons and Dragons, so it's a lot of once a day type things.
Okay.
You actually have to manage that. Like, there's been a lot of times where I've run out of healing spells and been like, oh fuck. And I am playing as a paladin, so I have a healer. I have Shadowheart. She's a cleric. She's my main healer, but my paladin also has healing, except for like both playthroughs. The one that I lost and this one, I've fucked up pretty badly, and like, I'm now an Oathbreaker paladin.
No, again. Can't get away from that one, can you?
No, because I'm a little bit gun ho. But so I've broken. I've killed people. That is like then the Oathbreaker paladin's like, we need to have a chat, and you're like, oh fuck.
Damn it.
So I guess that was one of those innocents we talked about. But anyway, so like it's actually really good because you can literally do things like if you haven't played Baldur's Gate, I suggest actually going out there. It's
Yeah.
I've seen
pretty
gameplay, but I haven't touched it.
it's very much old school isometric view turn based play. It reminds me quite a bit of
What, RuneScape? Something like that?
no,
Diablo?
it's a little bit of Diablo, but also XCOM.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Especially
XCOM,
battles,
yeah.
because battles are all about strategy.
Yeah.
Especially considering that it's very Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I play with mods, obviously, so
Yes.
I can overpower myself as quickly, but if you're not someone who plays with mods, you can run into trouble where it's like, literally the first time I played, I almost died to some of the weakest enemies because they just surrounded my player character. I'd walked into a place without realizing that they were in there, and they just mobbed me, and I was like, oh fuck. And 3 attacks from them were pretty much all of my health gone. Fortunately, I'm a paladin, I could heal myself, so live and learn. But like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and there's a lot of things that can kill you pretty much instantly if you don't. If you choose poor conversations in like talking to powerful people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you can, like, a lot of the time you can be having a conversation with someone and it's like one of the options is just to attack them because you can just be a maniac if you want.
I feel like that's your path.
No, what his path is that there is a trait. I don't know how you get it. I've just seen it on other people's. I think it's Dragonborn specific, but it's like called like Untamed Rage or something like that. And just random actions, they'll just go and be incredibly violent. Like, the one I've seen.
Test number 1.
The one I've seen is like this
That sounds
Dragonborn palette. It might have been a berserk. I can't remember what the rank was, what the class was, but they're Dragonborn and they're sitting there looking at a squirrel. And it's like the narrator is like going through. It's like, this is the cutest thing you've ever seen. Wouldn't it just be so cute if it was up a tree right now? And then it's like the untamed urge thing flicks in. So it's like, it's almost like it's rolling, because rolling is a big thing. Like, you roll to do stuff in this game, and you use initiative to when you fuck up your rolls, like I do often. There was a time when I rolled a crit 1. I'm like, ooh, that's going to be a very hard fight, because I was trying to sneak my way into an enemy base, and I'm like, initiative, Initiative. But yeah, and it's like, oh, it's the cutest thing you've ever seen. Wouldn't it just be so twee if it was up a tree? And then it rolls, and you see unbridled rage or whatever come, and he just like fucking stomps it. and then the other people in this party are just like, so do you always go into random fits of rage or some shit like that? So it's very good, and like
that does sound like a
you can
fun
even
story.
you can even build your support characters how you want. So like the first time they level up, you can actually choose what first or second time, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like you can change their aspects. So if you're like, oh, I don't want my mage to be this type of mage, I want it to be this type of mage, you can swap that around and stuff. So
That's pretty
in
cool.
terms of what you can actually do, you can build yourself a party, you can connect yourself to the characters. I think it's in terms of AAA games, probably the best we've had in a long time.
Yes.
Which is why the gaming industry hate it, because it's almost like, hey, this is what we can do.
And it works well.
Here's another Call of Duty as well. Which would you prefer?
Yeah, I think I'll take Baldur's Gate. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, so look, I'm honestly not too worried about Starfield, because I do think the modding community will do what modding community does to all of Bethesda's game and extend its life drastically.
Absolutely, they'll fix their own
So
bugs and
what I'm-
issues they have.
Exactly.
What I'm also hearing is it's not going to be too much of an issue with the fact that I'm going to wait a little bit longer before getting the game.
Absolutely
So,
not.
yeah.
No issue waiting for it. But then there's got classic Bethesda things. Like I think the very first building I went into, I opened the toilet, and in the toilet there was milk and what did I find? Toilet milk and antibiotics. And I was like, excellent, they've taken care of this. The milk is here. It's over the antibiotics.
Hell yeah.
Just chug it down, and
It is
then
an interesting game though. They say every playthrough is different.
oh yeah.
So you never do the same thing your friend does. There are some obviously cool
Yeah.
things.
There
forward
are
to seeing
some
your playthrough to what my experience
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
absolutely. There are some core things like
certain
Earth
cities.
is always the same, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, desert planet with
Yeah,
iron
there's
or whatever
literally
it is.
only like 6 or 7 places in Earth that are actually
Yeah, you got to find, I
remarkable.
think, special books as well to get certain locations like
Okay.
Egypt, Eiffel Tower, New York City, and
Yeah.
I think London.
So I went
Okay.
looking. So
Very
of course, the second I got to the ship and I was allowed to go explore the galaxy, I went to Earth.
Yeah,
I went looking
did
for the
that.
Sydney Opera House. Could not find it, but I did something else that I thought you guys might find interesting.
Okay.
I went to around about the point where Rockhampton would be,
Yeah.
and I found it. So I landed on the east coast, up in Queensland, about the point where Rockhampton would be.
Is there even Australia on the world? I
Absolutely.
don't remember seeing it.
So when I first arrived, it was in night, but you can see it. You can see the outline, and you can actually figure out where things are based on. Because like you can clearly see Tasmania and shit like that as well.
I'll
It's
have a
just
look at
that you've got to remember that
it's decimated.
we have coastline, so it's kind of it's blurred because you've got the coastline, the shallows, and then the deep. So you've kind of got to figure out the outline based on that. But anyway, yeah. So I landed about where Rockhampton would be. Started walking, and I was like, I'm gonna find Rockhampton, and I did. I found it. I fucking found it.
Okay.
About 1 kilometre from where I had landed my ship. Massive hole. I went, Rockhampton! They did put it in!
Thank you.
Massive hole full of radioactive water, and I was like, yeah, that seems like
that's pretty accurate.
Sucks to be there. Yeah, no, that's correct.
Is that where you're going to build your base?
No.
You.
You sure? Just bring home to home.
I don't know. See, there's so much to
I don't
explore. I don't even know. Like, I kind of wish that they had, probably story-wise, like, because I don't know how much of the story you've actually gone through, but to do...
I haven't got my powers yet or anything.
Yeah,
Yep.
so to do some exploring, you've got to, like, at least do the first part, which is kind of find out that someone you're looking for is in the Sol system. Obviously,
Okay.
the Sol system being the solar system.
Yeah.
It's just all games call it the Sol system based on
Yeah.
Well, that's
they
just what we
remove the
call it.
R. It's like once we start going to other solar systems, we kind of have to change the name of ours because it's not the only fucking one.
No.
Well, yeah, true.
But so they kind of talk about how Mars is the only thing worthwhile there because of what happened to Earth, which
Well, I think that's the first place we go anyway.
in
one of our
first
missions.
place. Yeah, so Mars.
To go back into Sol, I think Mars is the first planet we
Yeah,
go back into.
Mars
the
is
system.
where you're aiming for when you go back there. But the guy tells you it's the only thing worth doing there, and that's a bit of a backwater.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're kind of like, oh, you know, he's in the Sol system. It's like, oh, what did he do? Who did he piss off to end up stuck in that backwater? And I'm like, that's kind of what I dislike. Because even though Earth is like completely decimated and stuff, it should be more important to the people because it is kind of the alma mater, if you will.
I don't know if you came across a mission, but it was a side mission. I found a mission where the first voyagers from Earth were sent on a 200-year mission to find this particular planet. It has the first descendants from Earth on it, and they find the planet. Now there's already inhabitants of it, and they claim rule to it. But then the ones who have spent 200 years getting there want it because that's their right, they believe. So my mission was to figure out whether I fix their shit, blow them up, make them slaves, and stay on the planet for free. Whole thing.
Yeah.
But that was a sort of a mission that tied it back.
Yeah. Well,
it made it important for it, so there is a storyline there.
Yeah.
It's just,
well, I don't know.
it doesn't take the core part.
Yeah. Okay. I think my biggest thing is like, because the whole thing is that, I can't remember the planet, but the planet where you go to where the base for Constellation is.
Yeah, that took me like half an hour to find once I lost it.
Yeah, but
I couldn't find it.
That's kind of set up as like that's the new hub of.
That's basically Earth.
Order in the galaxy. Like that's where the order is, because there's all these other places that aren't. Like that's the UC or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's basically the space.
United Colonies.
Yeah,
That's their hub world. That's their capital.
If you want to join them, that's where you go.
And it's like that's, as Jane said, that's kind of the thing for Earth. And it's like, I get that, and like when you go to Earth, it's absolutely decimated, and I'm sure it'll be explained as if you actually care to look it up in the backstory and stuff what happened to Earth. But from the looks of it, kind of looks like a massive amount of like there was a meteor storm, because a lot of the craters on Earth are called storm craters, and they're big, and they, you know.
I took away global warming out of it.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of that, but I also think that there's like stuff. Like, as I said, the meteor storms make me think that Earth at some point was hit with a massive meteor storm that destroyed a lot of the area. But my whole thing is I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I get that. But, like, my thoughts are I would love to see it more important as if, like, faction-wise, like, there's nothing there. There's no reason to be there. There's a few...
There's like 2 or 3 resources. That's it. And you can get that anywhere. 5. There you go.
And then there's actually, if you go into caves, there's some hidden resources. But because I've done quite a bit of exploring,
it has no real.
I've done quite a bit of exploring on the east coast of Australia.
Oh, very nice.
But as I said,
no Sydney though yet.
No, which is kind of an upsetting thing. Like I was hoping that the Opera House would be one of the kind of.
It might be, as I said, there was like little books you had to find to get like Eiffel Tower and stuff. There might be
maybe,
but it's yet to be discovered. If no one discovers it and puts it online, no one else.
Yeah, well,
see it
my thing is, I kind of used Google Maps plus the system plus like triangulation to kind of find where Sydney should be.
Yeah, but I don't think that's how the world works in the
game. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but hopefully it's there. But I was kind of like hoping to kind of see it as like it's a dilapidated desert planet.
It's just Australia all over.
I would have liked to see like some like outposts and stuff on it.
Like
like actual
remnants of something, or
like not even remnants, but like proof that it's like holding it is still important to the United Colonies, because it's kind of like it is like the hey no, we still hold Earth, we still have full control of it, like just like a little outpost, like a trading outpost or something that's been like, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, like even if humanity were to go across, and like this is kind of the Mass Effect of it all, you think about Mass Effect, which is a very similar story, humanity spread all across the universe, whatever. Earth is still like, and it's the same no matter what kind of space thing you look at for human. Earth, like actually visiting Earth, like when you think about it, it's like, oh, we have all these colonies. It's like, oh yeah, but like you don't go to Earth very often because there's no reason to go to Earth. But going to Earth is like a big thing. Like even if there's nothing there for you to do,
that there's something there. It's got an importance to it.
Yeah, and I would love to see it more that importance. Not because there's anything overly important there. The minerals are pretty so-so. Except plutonium. I did find plutonium there. That's a pretty good resource. But I would love to see it more like a thing of like all these people trying to, say that they're the most powerful, whatever, because it's the factions. Like I would be like, holding Earth should be one of their main goals, because that's kind of like we have the ancestral home of all humanity.
So sort of like Skyrim with the Stormcloaks. Stormcloaks and your Imperials.
Yeah, it was
whichever one you pick then takes.
Yeah, but like I would just like to see some more stuff happening around Earth, and like for it not to be treated as such a like, oh yeah, sure, it's completely destroyed and it's a backwater. But I don't want to see it like that. I want it to be like, because it's like the truth is humans are always very interested in our past, and considering like that is the epicenter of human past.
Well, yeah, you want to know anything, that's where you'd want to go.
Exactly. You would, I would have loved to see things like archaeological digs and stuff like that, and things that make
things that we do today, but
things that make it look like the planet itself, especially considering like the whole point of Constellation is the mysteries of the universe. Well, you can't really study the mysteries of the universe without caring about the mysteries of your past, and
true.
So I feel like maybe it'll come in later, but I feel like we've missed a trip by not having Earth as a more important thing, at least scientifically, and being like, this is important because it's our base.
I mean, DLC is still an option and stuff. They might
absolutely, and there's so much stuff they can do because it's such a big. But
we got 1,000 odd planets.
Exactly.
So,
but I was a little bit disappointed to see them kind of be like, oh yeah, we destroyed Earth and now we don't care about it anymore. It's like, you'd think it would hold some importance, like even for like I know like probably everyone who plays Starfield is going to go to Earth and just explore.
Well, yeah, we're right next to it, and when we go to Mars anyway, just a quick trip.
And like you're gonna do shit like what I did, where it's like, can I find
where I live?
Yeah, can I find where I live? I want to explore this place. I want to see this. I want to find the pyramids or whatever.
See if there's anything left, even just a remnant.
I want to find. I want to try and find all the remnants, and like that's a pretty cool thing that Bethesda could do, because literally in an update they could add more buildings. Yeah, like there's so many buildings in the world that you could just be like,
Darcy's thing could come to fruition, and we do start excavating.
Exactly.
That would be super cool.
And like
maybe
like
there's some mystery object there.
Exactly. And I just like I don't know. I just wish that it kind of had more importance for the very fact that it's like, even though it's in the future, Earth's been destroyed. It's like,
I mean, you haven't finished the game
humanity's
yet.
come from there. I haven't. No.
So there still could be, because I don't even know either.
They could, but just from the way like I'm basing all of this on the fact of how characters in the game have talked about it. Now, it could be true. There could be another faction out there who holds more regard for the Earth, which I think would be kind of cool, because then you get like the current government, if you will, the UC, being like, oh, it's just a backwater. We don't care because there's no one living there. It's not worth any tax. It's not worth protecting. But then you've got like a different faction who's more spiritual, being like, that's the crown jewel of everything, because that's where we
exist because of this planet.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe there's something like that in the game. But as I said, just my first off thing, I was kind of like, oh yeah. It kind of sucked that I was like sitting there. I was just like they don't even have like a scanner on Earth, because you go to some planets and they scan your ship, and it's like, I just love to see them. I'd love to see like some kind of thing that's like, even though
someone's
it's
protecting
destroyed,
the area,
there's some importance to it, because
any major colony they go to, they scan your ship
exactly
for contraband. So if you go to Earth, if there's someone there doing that,
it kind of goes, there's something important here. And as you said, maybe
that's actually a good
remark.
Yeah.
Later on, we might see, and like you arrive at Earth and it's got like all the debris from like space station stuff around it as well. Like maybe later on we get there. I wouldn't be averse to seeing like a mission where you find out there's like a secret base there or something, because that would make a lot
or
of
an
sense.
ancient relic that you could have tried
Exactly.
to find. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Well, that's kind of the whole base of the game. You are searching for ancient relics.
I mean,
Well, that would be cool that they've just like all of a sudden get the knowledge of like, well, there was actually this one on Earth.
well, there
We've
might
got
be
to
in the
find.
story. We
There
get to
might be.
finish the mission.
We haven't gone that far.
I've collected a few pieces, so I'm probably a little bit more ahead than you.
You're definitely more ahead.
But I'm yet to finish the
I've
relic.
only-
But for all I know, that last one's on Earth, and I'm yet to. When I get home, I'll find out.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I just wish that it had been given a little bit more importance, and it's kind of like, even though it's a completely destroyed husk, being like, no, this is, there's still people protecting it because of its significance to everything you see around us.
It would be nice. It definitely.
But yeah, it's just kind of like, and it could be like it's the ultimate kind of,
It's a big slap in the face.
So it's the ultimate kind of show off. It's like, because the UC has something going on there that they don't want people to know about, so they just pretend it's a backwater, and everyone's just kind of like, oh yeah, Earth. Oh, who'd want to go to Earth, even though they've still got stuff happening there? But
Well, we've been there. There's nothing there to see.
well,
So,
here's
to
the thing.
our eyes.
And this is kind of what I like about Starfield. It's very easy to rock up on a planet and be like, oh, okay, there's nothing here. I'll choose to land here. I'll go exploring, back to my ship, leave. And then later in the story, someone would be like, oh, you got to go to this planet. There's something there. And you go, oh, I went there and there was nothing there. And you go there and it's like, oh, you scan, and because of the thing they gave you, or they give you a spot to land, you can land and something can appear, because it's like, you're not dealing with, you're not dealing with Skyrim where it's like, hey, I just walked into this new castle and look, there's the room I'm looking for. It's like you are looking at entire planets.
You walk into a thing in Skyrim, you can already complete a mission you're not even ready for because you just walked in and done it.
Whereas
you go
this,
into it's like, oh yeah, I
whereas
already
this,
got that.
even though you can have visited a planet, they can still make it so that going back there with a story to do there can actually open up new things, because you are exploring planets as opposed to what we've seen in the past, which is like you're exploring a town.
Yeah, that's interesting, because then if you do your second playthrough, you're not going to be able to sort of skip ahead and collect this thing. You're going to have to wait till you unlock it.
But as I said, I'm
which
actually
kind of takes away from the Skyrim Fallout thing, which people are familiar with.
Well, yeah,
exactly. And as I said, I just kind of I like it. I also like the fact that because of the semi-procedural generatedness of it all, it is a little bit. There's a little bit of exploring to be done by everyone who plays it. You can't just look at a guide and be like, go here, get this, go here.
I do look forward to playing it through hundreds of hours to see what I
And-
can uncover.
And that's what I said. That's why I'm not too worried about it. We're in the first month.
They've already made changes. They're already doing updates.
They're doing
fixing
stuff. They're going to stick with it for the long run, because this is the first new IP they've had in how many years?
25 years they've been working on it, they say.
Yeah, so they're going to keep making it better. And then once the modding community gets comfortable with it, they're going to have a field day, because there's so much you can do.
But that's still
with
going to bring more people into it anyway.
Exactly. And, honestly, with the amount of Skyrim we've had over the past 11 years,
Look, we
12 years,
we've had Switch, remastered, VRs, etc.
I think it's come out 18 times.
Something like that.
There's even...
There's a Skyrim
Alexa.
mobile one.
There is a Skyrim Alexa.
What?
You can play Skyrim on your Alexas.
Jeez.
How?
You say, Alexa, play Skyrim, and she narrates to you. It's like an old-fashioned text adventure. So you say, use this.
I gotta look this up when I'm done.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Watch the ad with Peele in it.
Okay.
Keenan Peele.
Keen Peele, yeah.
Yeah, because
That sounds awesome.
it came out and everyone thought it was a joke because he was in the ad, but they were like, no, it's an actual thing. We've made it. And it's like, because he's sitting there fighting a frost troll. He's like, eat a cheese wheel. You're out of cheese wheels. What else did I pick up?
That's pretty cool.
That sounds good.
Yeah, apparently. Don't hold me on that, but I'm fairly sure they did say that there is actually a text-based version that you could, or a speech-based version of Alexa that you can play.
Interesting.
But yeah, so, I think it's got a lot, whilst it's in a perfectly serviceable state now, you can't complain about the state it's in. I think it's perfectly fine for a AAA game. It's not a game that's come out that's like, in 20 years it'll be better, guys. Wait till they finish all the patching. It's perfectly fine right now. to actually play. If you play it right now, you're not going to get anything bad, but I think...
If you go in with this high expectation, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, but that's just going in with high expectations towards anything, really.
Which unfortunately keeps happening these days.
Yeah.
When it comes to
But
games.
it's good. I agree with Darcy. It's in a fine state. It's only 1 month in.
And when
Yeah.
they're going to fix it themselves, I don't foresee them just abandoning this. This is an anthem.
The next thing that comes out
and
is
then we
what's
just let modders.
Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6.
So now that this is out, they're actually going to start working on Elder Scrolls 6 because that's how.
So they're going to want this to survive.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, everyone just jumps back to Skyrim and Fallout, and they wasted everything.
Well,
So there's
look,
no
I will give them the benefit of the doubt of 76 and the fact that
I
it's in
forget
a
that's
playable
even a thing.
state at the moment. Like, people are actually enjoying playing it right now.
I haven't played it since I got the pre-order and the beta.
Yep.
And then played for a while, and that's
Look, as I said,
Yeah,
I think
I
that's a
agree.
really good indication of them sticking. And, like,
they tried something though. They
Starfield,
tried something new.
yeah.
Didn't
Starfield
work.
is in no way an unplayable game that's a mess and horrible and all that. It's quite good. It's just, it could be better. I expect the modders to do that. Like, it's kind of weird for me because I don't buy Bethesda games for the vanilla experience anymore. Once I started getting into modding, I go in now and I'm like, okay, what mods am I adding to it? What's going to make my game even better?
Okay.
Because I play on console though, I did enjoy the Creation Club they brought along.
Yep.
So they now have the mod feature, but the Creation Club I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was approved content by them and it worked with the game continuously throughout updates.
Yeah.
So I look forward to them doing it with Starfield because that
Yeah.
will
Well, as I said, like,
for me.
my only thing with Starfield is that because it's a change up, the modding's not there at the moment. Like I said, I started playing Fallout 4 like 2 days after it came out, and there was probably about 1,000 mods.
Jeez.
New outfits, new things, new weapons to make the wasteland feel a little bit more earthy and look a little bit cooler.
Okay.
Starfield's not there yet. I think they have like 600 mods.
Do you have much experience with those games?
I got a bit with Fallout 4.
Okay.
Never really got into it when I was younger, but I definitely played Fallout 4.
See, my first Bethesda game, like my actual first one, was Skyrim.
Same with me. Yeah.
Then I went back and played Oblivion. Not a good choice because potato faces.
Oblivion's its own special.
Oh,
It's its own special pedestal.
It's a great
It's
game.
wonderful.
But it has, like, you go back and play it and you can go, oh yeah, this is an old game.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good.
Um,
It's really enjoyable.
honestly, I think if you actually care about the story, I think it's actually better than Skyrim's story. It's a little bit more fantasy, grandiose, and a little bit less self-serving toddlers having tantrums.
Fair. Never really got into Skyrim specifically.
But I played Skyrim.
Did play a bit of Elder Scrolls Online, but with the group I was playing
ESO
with,
was
no.
a touchy one for me because I liked it, but I didn't.
I
I went into it thinking it would be like Skyrim. That was my downfall.
I think my issue was the people I played it with.
Look, I'm going to say this about the Elder Scrolls Online because I've never played it, and I think the reason that I never played it was for one reason only.
No friends?
Yes. No. By the time it had come out, I had stopped playing Bethesda games on console. I was 100% playing them on the PC because no matter how good Bethesda make a game, there's always going to be a modder that makes it better. Let me tell you, running around Skyrim as Ichigo's Vasto Lourdes form, just blasting people off mountains and shit and running around with Zangetsu.
I like the Thomas the Tank Engine one the most. It's Skyrim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Your
once-
Dragonfly's long and it's just Thomas with the theme song playing. Which they've got
I
in,
actually
they've got it
don't.
in Starfield
I
too.
prefer the Macho Man Randy Savage dragons. But you know, once you've played with mods and you see what creative people can do with a game, and like they can add things to it that you just go, yeah, I don't need this for the game to be good. It's a good game, but this makes it a lot better.
It does show there's a lot of creative people out there.
And-
like with the deepfake Luke Skywalker, the dude that redid it when it came out on Disney.
Yeah.
He's now got a job from it. It shows what people can do.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a good
And-
job
and, like,
opportunity as well.
well,
if you're
yeah.
looking for something.
You know, you think of all the games that you've played that started off as mods. Team Fortress comes to mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But the thing is, once you start playing with mods, you kind of go, okay, yeah. So I was actually considering playing the Elder Scrolls Online, but then I was like, ooh,
No mods.
no mods. And I went, The thing is, when you have a world like, I would love to play it because it's just there's so much in it.
There is so much more now as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, not having mods cuts out a level of creativeness and stuff where it's like you're stuck with just what they've thought of, and sometimes that's not like. Let me tell you about some of the mods for Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
Force speed. That's fucking hilarious.
Well, yeah.
The someone literally made a dragon shout using the dragon language, so it's fully voiced. That like just gives you force speed, so you can sprint around the map at like multiple speeds, and it matches in with the lore.
That's pretty cool.
But these are the types of things you get, and when you have a game that's online only, Elder Scrolls Online, it takes that out. Fucking Fallout 4 mods that I use. A lot of them are creation based.
Okay.
So many, so that instead of just having the vanilla creation, I can build entire cities.
Oh yeah, because you can expand the border and do your own.
I can expand
There's
the border,
no limit on what you can
instead
build,
of just having like junk pieces, I can put up like actual walls and shit and be like, you know.
It is nice to see what some of those.
And I think that's what when I was playing.
And don't even get me started on weaponry. Like when Fallout 4,
there's
with
a vast
mods
weapons.
like mod weapons, you can get like actual guns that should technically be in the game because I don't like the weapons in the game of Fallout 4. A lot of them look bad, especially the assault rifles. The assault rifles look like crap.
Yeah, but the game's like a futuristic 1970s.
It is, but the problem
theme,
that's my problem with the assault rifle, and a lot of people who know more about guns than me have pointed out the assault rifle is actually a machine gun. It has a big cooling thing on it, which is reminiscent of 1910 machine guns.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is
meant to be realistic.
Well, there's a divergence between the real world and Fallout is supposed to be around the 40s.
Okay.
No. So we should be seeing a lot of stuff that we had in the 40s kind of represented there. That's
we do. We got the cars, we got the clothing styles.
That's why the revolver looks like a normal revolver. But then you've got other things like the vertibirds that don't look like helicopters because they're running off different technology.
Yeah.
That's why you've got this, because it's running off different. So, but there should be some things in there that aren't in there. And also, I don't like the overly chunky aesthetic of a lot of the guns.
Yeah, they can be a bit bulky.
The pistol is the one that comes to mind because I do not use it. But it is far too big and chunky for a pistol. I get you want it to look iconic, but the truth is, a pistol should never be this big.
It shouldn't be anything like the Nerfs either.
No. So, like, being able to mod in a 1911
is awesome.
Awesome.
Though there is a 1911, isn't there? No. There's a silence weapon in an old style one.
Ooh, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to have a look. But
I
also
think
being
there
able
is,
to mod in things like
but you have to get through a mission.
Like, being able to mod in things like double-barreled shotguns and stuff like this. Things that should technically be in the game because they're
should
really
be around
fundamentally for human history.
Yeah. But I think one of my issues with 4 was, at least on console, that I didn't do a lot of base building. But that's because...
you don't need to do a lot.
Well, this thing is... I know you spent a lot of your time on it, but like...
But you want to make
when I was trying to do it, I couldn't do a lot of what I wanted to do, just because
that's actually another mod I have.
Yeah.
So it allows me to have nuclear reactors in my base to run power from.
Oh,
that run off fusion cores.
That's
Didn't
good.
they have them already?
You had
I can't remember.
You had to use the ones that sat there and went. And I was like, I fucking hate that. Another mod I got, like first one off the bat, silencer for the generators.
Okay.
Alright, I'll give you that because they are pretty noisy.
But yeah, that's probably my biggest thing with the Elder Scrolls Online. If I could play it, and I don't really want to play Elder Scrolls with people. I want to be able to do a solo.
Well, you don't play Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout to play with your friends. You play it to just...
if it was an option where it's like, oh, you want to play with people, go play with people, but here's the single player story mode.
Okay, Kris, let's join up. Let's do a quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. As I said, I'll give it a couple of months, and I reckon we'll have a whole modding scene up and running for. I reckon the few bugs that they're still running will be fixed, and But as I said to Kris when it first all started coming out, and we were a month out, It's a Bethesda game. What's the one thing you can expect from a Bethesda game? It'll be buggy. It's not.
If it's not buggy, well,
yeah. What the fuck's going
it's
on?
not
Todd, come on.
Where's our bugs?
We need a bug. We need something stupid. It doesn't have to be game breaking. Just
No.
So anyway, moving along from video games because it's not what we're all about here.
Which one?
So I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm actually into archery. Like I like archery. I'm very good at archery.
I believe you've mentioned it.
I'm still owed a Coke by fucking Harmsy. I want my Coke.
Hey, I at least got what I was offered.
But anyway, so I've been looking at like getting a nice.
nothing. I'm just listening.
I've been looking at getting a nice bow, like a nice big like heavy bow.
Compound.
Just recurve. I don't really like compound bows. They're good.
I've got a $600 compound bow sitting in my cupboard from when I was doing archery in WA.
Yeah, but I know, and they're very nice. But I like the wooden compound bow. Recurve bow. Yeah. I do like a compound bow, and I think if you're going hunting, you have to use a compound bow because they're just so good at what they do.
Yeah. But nothing wrong with recurve. I mean, they're just as good.
I like the recurve because I like the natural wood look, and I don't want a full-on long bow. But what I was actually looking at, because I was like, there's so few places you could actually go and shoot. I was looking at the safety arrow tips. You know, the ones.
Little wooden rubber ones. And
the ones I was looking at were called foam.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how they were safe. Because, like, picture a cone, right, with a metal tip saying safety foam. And I'm like, it's got a metal tip on it.
Okay.
Like,
I think it would be like Nerf darts.
You hit someone with a metal tip from a bow. I don't care how much foam's behind it. That metal tip is.
Isn't there a place in Rocky where they have the giant ones?
Probably.
Big outdoor activity.
Well, I know there's laughing ones that are like just big clumps of like soft foam and rubber.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize until because I was looking at these. I'm like, how are these safe? Because they just look like a normal arrowhead, but with a smaller metal tip. I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, how the fuck are these safe? How the fuck are these? Once you attach that to an arrow, you've got the full force of the bow and a tiny metal tip.
I mean, I'm sure the normal bow and it goes through lots of things. So yeah, it is a really good question.
So I clicked on it and I'm
you
like,
don't want to shoot your friend.
Well, exactly, especially considering that's the whole point of buying safety arrows to fire at Kris.
Kill your friend.
Because I was looking at
fire me.
I was looking at the LARPing ones because I was like, oh, well, the LARPing arrows for 6 LARPing arrows. You know how much it'll cost you on Amazon?
Well, considering arrows generally cost between $7 to $15 normally, and that's for a normal carbon, sitting around the same price.
$400 for 6.
For 6?
Jeez. Because they're the official LARPing brand.
Yeah.
And then you're not even supposed to use them with a real bow. You're supposed to use them with a much weaker 25-pound bow.
I don't know if there's any archers that will watch this, but I'm sure they might agree with this one. Is when I say we, you lose more arrows than you shoot.
Exactly.
An arrow collector and a hunter than an actual hunter.
Yeah.
Because every arrow you shoot, there's pretty much a good chance you're going to lose the damn thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unless you are 100% safe that it can't get lost.
That's why you don't ever lend your bow to your friend to shoot into the woods with your fucking expensive pointy tips on them.
Are we speaking from experience?
Yes, he is.
I was the friend. I can just shoot this into the woods, right? Yeah. Just keep an eye on where it went. Where'd it go? I don't fucking know.
My first time I actually shot a bow, not going to say where, but it was across a certain river towards a certain side of town. Didn't think it would actually make it that far. Didn't hit anyone.
It will.
But it was awesome.
Anyway, so I've been looking at like safety heads. I'm like, if I was going to shoot, I don't really want to be shooting around lethal arrows.
Well, yeah, if that's
unless I'm at like an actual archery range where it's safe to shoot lethal arrows, I don't want to be shooting anything that could harm someone.
Yes.
So I'm looking at these safety phones, and I'm just like, they've got a metal tip on them.
Especially when there's
how
going to
the
be
fuck
bound
is
to be
that safety? And I'm like, maybe it's because what I'd actually typed in was practice. And I'm like, maybe they're considered practice because they're softer, so they're less penetrative, but they'll still stick into a target.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
And I'm looking at them, I click on it, right? Now, the thing with photos is they give you a terrible scale.
Yes.
This tiny metal tip that I was looking at, that was actually the screw for screwing it into the arrow. The bit of foam that I thought I was looking at, that I thought was the width of an arrow, is about that round and about that long. And I went, oh, I can shoot Kris with those for days. So I'm looking at these.
Because you just look for it.
Yeah, exactly. You look for this big thing that's like, and I'm just like, oh, that explains why they're called safe. I'm like,
So-
but yeah, just looking at them, they just look like normal little arrowheads you'd screw in.
So are we buying them?
See, now I'm just seeing that I'm
I'm
picturing.
First
You're
I'm
gonna
the
get
boat.
it. You're
Yeah,
gonna
first
set
I
up
get
the
boat.
camera. I'm gonna walk through that door and then just get fucking railed with.
Can we see it with the Nerf guns just one day?
I do want the bow I'm looking at is a 50-pound bow.
Oh shit!
That's not too bad.
That is technically the upper range of competition. Sorry, the lower range of competition shooting.
Yeah.
It's too high for hunting because you can't hold it for long enough to actually track an animal.
You can
Yeah.
try,
It'd be tough.
but you'd want to use a compound anyway.
There
'cause
are.
compounds,
I know. If there's any archers watching, they're gonna be like, I use a
Oh, yeah,
70-pound
we're
bow
probably
and I
stupid.
hold it. I hold it all the time. But the truth is, anything over like 10 pounds, you want to be going. There's my target. Line it up. Dang. You don't. Any time you're holding it here, you're actually fucking up your shot.
Yeah, well, you want to. From the little training I've had, is you get your target, you pull it up, and you don't want to overly sit too long
No.
because the longer you
Yeah.
go, the more strain.
So
and you definitely don't want to.
from
have
from
sweaty
people
palms.
I know who are
Oh,
actual
so I'm doing-
archers.
You'll do because it'll take you too long.
People
You're gonna-
I know who are actual archers. They say the only time you should hold it is if you're about here.
kind of like with a rifle
So
or a gun.
yeah,
you don't have your
yeah,
hand
You're
on the trigger.
you're loading it up. You're getting your aim.
There's no
The
pressure.
second
it's
you
just
pull
a-
it back, the second you reach full draw, you release because any time.
Yeah, well,
spent here,
recurve's a little bit different. But
what
with your
you'll
compound,
do-
you've got the big
Yeah.
loop and you're locked. When you're trying to get it past that little lock, you feel the relaxation. The clock's ticking on you.
But like so with
Recurve.
I'm gonna call it more
Robin.
less modern archery. So like
Yeah.
using a bow that doesn't have any help holding it.
Yeah. Any components or
Yeah, and anything that's going to help hold it. A lot of people say the second you pull it back, that's the furthest you're going. Anyone who tries and holds it there actually loosens tension off it, which means they're lessening the power. So
Yeah.
pretty much you go, and the second you're at full draw, you release it because nothing's going to give it. And the more you hold it, the more shaky you become. And you know,
Yeah,
people who
true,
sit there
true.
and go, "Oh, it's only 50 pounds." It's 50 pounds, but it's 50 pounds of continual strain on your muscles. So you'll get it tires you out.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. It's like I've seen people shoot like 100-pound bows, and they go like after 3 or 4 shots, you are absolutely fucked from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Of course
it's
you'll
not
do.
something you can just stand there and just keep shooting like you see in Marvel movies with Hawkeye. It's not
Exactly.
nowhere real. It's,
Oh, no.
But yeah, so you know that's something I want to invest in the future. Get myself a nice little bow. And I was like,
Well,
Do
you
you
should look
need-
at some padding just in case.
a
Mainly
cup,
facial.
a cup would be probably the best thing.
It would be.
Because I can guarantee you this: if I get
Wait,
any
sorry,
kind of-
sorry. A couple of mask.
if I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
any
facial.
if I get any type of good aim, it's going to hit you in the nuts all the time.
I mean, if it's just over there,
it's going to be one of
I
those.
mean,
It's going to be one of those situations where you're like, why always the nuts? And it's because I can.
don't turn your back to him.
But yeah, no, I was looking at that, and I was like, yeah,
That is interesting, but $600 for 6.
yeah, no, I was like,
Yeah,
That's
fuck.
pretty.
I was like, I was like, you'd just be better off buying normal arrows and getting the fucking big foam safety tips.
Yeah, and you just take the tip off and just get your own little glue and screw it in. Yeah.
Well, they're also screwing these days because you know.
Well, you don't want to have a part of the arrow.
Oh, well, it's got more to do with the fact that depending on what you're shooting depends on what kind of arrow.
Well, you're
head
shooting
you
Kris.
use.
Maybe Jordan.
Targets. You want to use the bullet tips.
You want to do
Because-
you want to do flat. You don't want points
Yeah, you don't want your broadheads.
because you don't want to go through your target. You want
no.
to still stay in your
Well,
target board
it's-
and not
it's
go.
a lot of it actually got to do with the fact that bullet heads are only the same width of the arrow. So once they go in, you grab it and they'll come out because the hole stays the same size. Whereas broadheads technically cut going in.
Yeah, I'm
which
just trying to
means-
think what ones I've got at home.
Well, so there are 2 types of broadheads you might have. You might have the big triangular ones. Or you
I know
might
I've
have
got my old uncle's triangle ones, which I'll never use because they're vintage
and then you've got the
memorabilia.
triple kind of tips where they've got like 3 wire
Yeah.
tips.
Yeah, no, I don't have those. ones.
Both of those are broadheads.
I think I just
technically.
have like the pointy ones. They're just point ones and they screw in. They're the same width, but
They're called the
they
bullet.
they come out.
Yeah, a cool bullet. They look literally like the end of a bullet.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it.
But they're the ones you use for targets because anything that cuts into the target will close up behind it, and then getting it out is a struggle.
Yeah.
However, unlike everyone who's ever like been in a movie where someone's been shot with an arrow and says, "Okay, you got to push it through." You never push it through.
Don't push it through.
No.
Oh yeah, so if you got an arrow halfway through your shoulder, what we're going to do is going to damage the rest of your shoulder, pushing it through instead of just pulling it out of the hole it's already come through.
If it's got,
it's
the
already
broadhead, then you're kind of screwed because you don't want to pull it out there.
Technically
Like,
speaking,
you wanna wait to get hospital.
technically speaking, you should wait till you can. I believe what they actually do is break the arrow off so that you don't have the whole arrow sticking out.
Well, yeah, you kind of want to.
But yeah, if you can avoid removing it until you get to a hospital, always a good thing. And what they'll do is they'll just open up the wound and pull it out of you because that's.
They're trained to do that.
What we're gonna do is, just shove it through. What about everything behind it? Just shove it through, man. Just
don't worry about the feathers. We'll clear them out later.
But yeah, no. So I was looking at some bows and I was like, I really hope that there's no kind of legal ramifications for getting a bow.
Crossbow, yes.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't get a crossbow, you're pretty
who want a crossbow? That's just too easy. If I'm gonna maim Kris, I want to do it. I want to at least have a little bit of effort in it.
But no, I don't.
Why am I laughing at this?
I don't think there's a legal side to it. It's just responsibility. Just don't be an idiot. Don't go aiming at pedestrians, shooting people purposely.
I'm a pedestrian.
What are you doing with that bow? Duck hunting. What?
I don't even.
Just me walking past. Quack!
No. It's Krillin. It's Krillin from the Bridge series.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a duck. He's killing us all. A duck. Quack! Krillin!
Transportation wise, though, I think as long as it's in the back of your car and it's not on full display for someone to grab, you're pretty good. But you can't really fold down a bow, especially a long bow or a recurve. It's not something you can do. The best you can do is take the string off that one.
Exactly.
But most people have a bag. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no legal.
And then the next
to my
thing
knowledge
to fulfill my, medieval arsenal, I just get a trebuchet. I'll take that behind the car as well. Do you have a permit for that? Yes, I do.
Can we get him a full set of armor just in case?
No.
I think I'm gonna need more of a gliding suit or a parachute.
No, you're gonna need health insurance.
While
you're at it,
life insurance.
Gonna write
you need
that
death
down.
insurance as well, whatever they call
Life
it.
insurance.
Oh, okay.
It's life insurance, man.
Like you're gonna go see a doctor this week or whatever. I think.
Yeah.
You're gonna see him a lot more once Darcy gets his hand on this bow.
And then the trebuchet. Oh no, I'm screwed.
That's just a little bit. Technically speaking, I could get my hands more easily on a trebuchet than a bow because they're not that hard to make.
You don't look too happy about that.
No, because I feel like something's going to happen and I'm going to get launched out of it.
No, so your safety with the trebuchet is the fact that they're very actually hard to aim because to aim
That's
them
probably
requires.
the worst part.
No, that is 100% the worst part because if you're trying to, if you're launching me, this is an example. You're launching me and aiming for something, and they're hard to aim for. There's a high chance I'm going to miss.
Aiming for the tree.
Technically speaking, unless I was to build something equivalent to the largest trebuchets ever made,
You ain't firing me. Yeah.
throwing something your size is a little bit unrealistic.
Oh, yeah, no,
they're
100%.
more designed to throw things about this big, just with a
So
lot
the size of
speed.
his head.
But the problem is that to actually change where you're aiming involves a little bit of rope work, but mainly weight work, and so there's a lot of maths.
Oh,
So basically, if you ever see me sitting there with a calculator looking at things and doing mathematics, that's when you're fucked.
That's when I run. I run as fast as I can to my car.
Knowing
And then
you,
speed
that's
walk.
not going to be long.
I'm only going to get to my car.
Actually, that does bring up another good point, right? Because we talked about this when we went to the snow.
Yeah.
Kris needs to get a girlfriend, which means he needs to get on Tinder, which means he needs a Tinder bio.
Well, we can just change my Tinder for yours if need be.
I was just thinking, we put in his Tinder bio, we'd be a little bit cute with it and say, looking for someone to take my breath away. Not hard.
I reckon you would get a ton of people. So we just delete my photos and info. We just put your stuff on there.
Oh, I've got a really good picture of him.
I've already
in the
got
snow.
Tinder.
He broke his thumb.
I've unfortunately got Tinder Plus, so we can put you anywhere in the world,
We can
just
put
while
you
I'm on holiday.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
A lot of effort. I think Darcy's okay with that.
Basically, my whole thing was I just really want to use a lot of asthma puns in your bio.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Try and take my breath away. I'd do it on my own.
Oh, fuck.
There's a lot that you could make out of that one, and they would be gold. They would be.
Do you know CPR?
You know CPR? I'm gonna need it.
You're gonna need it.
I enjoy drinks and sunset walks to the hospital.
Typically not in that order.
Oh man, that's gold. Oh man, no. Oh.
Girlfriend category though.
I can never let him get a hold of. If I make a Tinder account, never let you get a hold of it.
Why?
I think personally, you should let me make you a Tinder profile for the channel.
That would be
fuck.
interesting.
Do it on camera,
Oh, that would be fun.
as well as choose pictures.
You don't have a large variety to choose from, but there are some pretty good photos you got. I've still got some pretty good old photos.
Oh, I reckon if I were to put my feelers out and be like, lads, making Kris a Tinder profile, send me pics. I think I'd get a gold mine.
Keep Jordan on the end, on the side of this, because he'll be all over it in the heartbeat.
Oh, you fucking.
What I
He
want
wants him to have one so
What
bad.
I would
know,
want
yes.
from Jordan, though, what I really want from Jordan is just like a picture of Kris asleep in his bed.
There is only one major issue. If you wanted that, you should have done it when you were in the snow, because Kris in his room is just pitch black. He won't do the slightest bit of light. You won't get a photo. As he was telling me
Jordan.
today, the smallest little bit of blue light, yellow
Jordan
light.
just busts in with a fucking spotlight in his face.
Smile.
Say cheese, motherfucker.
What?
Well, security camera footage you could just use when you're coming home late at night.
When I'm dying on the stairs.
Yeah.
Good one, actually, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So like those are the gold ones. When you make a Tinder profile for someone else, you gotta ask, do you have a mugshot? Why? Because I need it for Tinder. That's not gonna help me get a girlfriend, no, but it'll be really, really funny.
Yeah,
Because the problem is you will get matches.
You will.
All the red flags are just sitting right there.
that's true. Fuck.
If you get a mugshot though, you've got to add something like be known to steal hearts and cash from gas
Let's go. I like that.
Yeah. Oh well. Look at that. I'm just about out of drink, so you know what that means.
Oh,
No.
we're at the end of the podcast.
Means we've got time for one last point, and it's a big important point. I know you two have been sitting heavily watching the American Writers Guild strike.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you're both very
Yes.
concerned about it. Apparently it's over.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Good.
I was looking up some information on it, and someone wrote in one of their news articles that because of the strike being over and the more money going to the writers making their great content,
Yes.
yeah, you like the content, well, they're getting more money for it. So they said, remember when you're
Pirating.
when your pricing for streaming and movie tickets and all this kind of stuff is going up, it's not the writers and the actors' fault. It's the studio's fault. And I thought, that's a really bad point.
It is.
Because it's the writers and the actors who want more money, but are giving us even worse quality stuff.
That is true.
No one's watching movies now going, I wish they had done this in the old days.
Yeah.
I really wish we had no character development back on my favourite characters. I wish Luke was just great at everything. Fuck Ray. But yeah, so I just thought I'd let you two know and say
Okay, yeah.
you can take this home with you.
Yes.
Remember to blame the writers and the actors
I shall.
for the increase in your subscriptions to all of the things that you subscribe to so you can watch entertainment.
My $8.
Remember,
Yes.
when that price goes up and you have to pay more money, remember it was them that made it that way, and it's them that are giving you shitty, horrible, aggravating content. And that, just fucking quit it.
Yeah.
I know I've thrown away Netflix and pretty much all of my subscriptions, except Funimation, which I didn't even know I had until I got a bill for it the other day.
That's what happens with me. I forget about it for a year. It comes out. It's like, and that's when I called you up the other time.
Funimation. When did I buy that? But yeah, no. So I've pretty much got rid of all of mine, and I refuse to get the others. But yeah, I just thought it was funny because they were like talking about, when these prices go up. I'm like, when these prices go up, people aren't still going to be paying for it. People are already questioning why they have Disney Plus.
It's true.
They're like, nothing good's on this. Why do I have it? When the price goes up, they're going to be like, oh, that's a good, that's a good reason to leave it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we've had the opposite effect with Netflix. I still pay for it. He doesn't pay me for it yet.
You haven't asked them.
No, I know that. And my cousin, just because
here's my thing.
They use it.
With I don't know. I'm going to be watching what the actual deal struck between the studios and the writers was.
Yeah.
Because basically, I don't think there are any writers currently in Hollywood that are worth the money they're being paid. And trust me, they're being paid a lot of fucking money.
I mean, Disney ones have gone to shit, in my opinion. There's just too much content. It's
not even too much content. It's like they're trying to push out
one
content.
series ends, another one's already began. There's no... What would you call it?
You're
singing time.
You're oversaturated with the content.
Yeah,
they are going to fix that. They've promised that when their rates go up, they will give you less content, and they will be removing some of the content that's already on there. Disney
That sounds even better.
Pay us more for less.
Yeah,
that's their business model.
It's great.
But
It's great model.
my biggest problem is actually the fact that writers today are too obsessed with their own greatness.
True.
And none of them are actually that great. So they'll destroy anything that's come before them because they think they can do better. And then we get things like, I don't know if you've heard of it, but The Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker. Which, I'm someone who loves a good Star Wars meme, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen the meme, Rise of Skywalker, every Skywalker dies.
Yeah.
Or my personal favourite, Rise of Skywalker, I'm Rey Skywalker. Oh, we're using our fake names. I'm Anakin. I mean Master Skywalker. Although, I will say, my favourite is still, it's my lightsaber. No, it's my lightsaber. The Youngling Slayer 9000.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that one.
Because that is 100% my belief on that.
Yep.
Like, stop saying it's Rey's lightsaber, stop saying it's Luke's lightsaber, it's Anakin's lightsaber, the one that killed all of those children.
Yes.
It is the Children's Slayer 9000.
Exactly. Or actually, another meme I saw the other night was Obi-Wan and Padme, when he's confronting her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've seen the recordings, he did terribly. It's like, I've seen the recordings, he killed the children. She goes, again? Because obviously he killed the women and the children.
That's right.
Again.
He's got a habit. But yeah, so.
He doesn't like children.
No, he doesn't. He also doesn't like sand.
No. Yeah, sand.
What was the other one? There was another one. You know how she buries the lightsabers at the end of
the end of the film, yeah.
Yeah, then they had Ghost, Anakin, Luke, and Obi-Wan, and Luke and Obi-Wan are laughing while screaming Anakin back as she buries him in the sand. Because he doesn't like sand.
Okay, that's gold. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's good. I do enjoy the Star Wars memes because they are just top quality.
They're good.
Top quality. But anyway, guys, as I'm out of beverage, and that's what it means to come to the end of a show because I don't want to sit here anymore. Once again, thank you for joining us. As always, I've been Darcy, he's been Kris. He has been Jaden, special guest for the video. Hope you enjoyed his
Input.
It's nice being in this side.
Exactly. If you did like the video, consider liking, showing a mate, leaving us a comment, or if you can find it within your heart to subscribe. We really do appreciate it. And, well, until next time, guys, we will catch you later. Please stay tuned to the channel for more content, and see you later.
See ya.
Oh! Right in the eye.
And I love it because, he doesn't get a choice of that. He just has to go. And, unlike me, I do this shit all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah. No.
I just take it all off because I get annoyed with it.
Fair, yeah.
And I have a strong chin. Unlike Kris. And he's a weak chin.
Oh, shit.
He's got the weakest chin of all of us.
I reckon he has a good jaw grip, though. Good jaw strength.
What the fuck are you on?
Like a shark.
Fuck you.
No, I was doing something and I was just like, oh, that's right. I was using the Beard Be Gone fucking app on Snapchat and I looked at Kris and was like, you're an ugly man.
Excessive amount of nuggets.
57. It's not excessive.
72.
Let's let him go 120.
It's like the entire time that we were away, it was just like, hey Kris, what do you want to eat? Chicken? Okay, Kris, but we had chicken for lunch and dinner. And lunch and dinner. And lunch and dinner for the last 3 days. I want chicken.
But that's inaccurate.
Jonathan's the same though. Chicken. Just chicken. He won't do beef.
Look. That last time we went to Macca's, I didn't get chicken at all. Jordan Howard didn't finish it, so I got
Jordan, however, bought you a fuck ton of nuggets so that you wouldn't feel lonely.
Well, Jordan grabbed his nuggets and then he stopped eating and he had like 3 left. I'm like, oh, you done eating? He's like, chuck us the nuggets.
Exactly. That's what we were dealing with. It was like, we went to Red Rooster, right? We'd done Macca's at like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'd had a pretty big, Kris had. He had 57 nuggets. And a chicken burger. Me and Jordan, we just ate our normal burger meals because we're humans.
Oh, he had nuggets as well.
Well, he had like 3.
6.
He had 6, sorry.
You ate the whole thing of fucking popcorn chicken yesterday.
Exactly.
Virtually.
Popcorn chicken, yes.
Anyhow.
With the pizzas. At Jessica's.
Oh.
You had most of it. Because there was one point where I grabbed the container and I went to shake it and he laughed at me and it's like...
He's even forgetting his
No,
chicken.
both Jessica and Dad had some.
Some.
There wasn't a lot. That wasn't a full box though.
Dad had 2, Jessica had 2, Kris went, that's enough for you. Like.
Chris had the box in front of him most of the
So
time.
we hit up Macca's. That's at like 2 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock by the time we'd eaten.
Yeah.
We then drive to Dubbo. Big drive. Jordan's calling out chicken whenever he can because there's kangaroos everywhere and he doesn't know animals. Surprisingly, that was him sober. So
I know, right?
we can only imagine what it's like when he's drunk. We get to Dubbo. Come into the hotel. I'm like, okay, lads. You've been looking at the map. I've just been trying to avoid hitting fucking kangaroos.
That's true.
Where the fuck are we getting for dinner?
Jordan made the suggestion.
KFC down the road. There's McDonald's down the road. There's Red Rooster. I'm like, okay, well,
Actually,
what are we eating? Jordan's like, Red Rooster. I'm like, okay, we'll go to Red Rooster. Me and Jordan get there. We get a meal each because we are humans.
Yeah.
Kris, I'll have 57 chicken wings, please.
Yeah, I remember hearing the wing story. Yeah.
No, you're right. Those wings were bigger than I fucking thought. What the fuck?
Motherfucker, I picked up the empty bag when it just had the bones and it weighed a ton. Anyhow, let us get... Oh, checking your fucking phone, making sure it's on silent this time, man.
Shit.
I do it every time now.
Now. It only took like 53, but now we're on it.
I didn't notice your phone going off.
The first few it kept going off.
Oh, okay. Explains why I didn't know.
The first few I forgot about.
Also, I tend to edit it out because it's terrible content. It's usually... Should have Slate again? No, this time it's something else. Fuck me. Okay, what's the time?
Okay.
That's for you, Kris.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Don't hate you.
Yeah.
Good content.
82.
Well, thank you.